Hey friends, it's Just the Gems. I'm Brandon. It's 1:30 in the morning. I got out of bed from almost a dead sleep to come down here and do this because Falcom dropped a whole bunch of information just in the middle of the night. I get it's not the middle of the night over there, and they're not beholden to my schedule, but I am wearing a nasal strip right now, and I'm not taking it off because these things do not grow on trees. I don't want to have to waste it, and I'm going back to bed after this. So we're just going to deal with it. We're going to push through, okay? Falcom has announced, or Gung Ho has announced, that Gung Ho is producing the Trails in the Sky first chapter, is what we're going with. Trails in the Sky first chapter release here, at least in the US. I'm not sure if they're handling overseas other than Japan as well, but this is big news. Okay, so I wanted to just sit down and share my thoughts on this, along with thoughts about the new trailer. Obviously, the new trailer is incredible. It has some footage from previous trailers that we've seen. I don't know about you all, but this feels a lot more like how I assume Falcom probably wanted to announce Trails in the Sky, the remake, as opposed to getting thrown into the Nintendo Direct sizzle reel. I've heard through the rumor mill online that they weren't expecting Nintendo to do that so soon. Like, they didn't realize when that Direct was going out. So chances are they were, I just have to imagine, for a game like this that's so near and dear to them, that they were wanting to give it more of a proper, reveal to the world, right? Like, obviously. So this feels more to me like the official announcement, even though we knew it was coming and we saw footage from it and everything. Just great to see all the characters. I'm so happy to have been wrong about the combat. It looked to me from that first trailer that when you struck an enemy with your weapon on the field, you went straight into turn-based combat, kind of similar to how you would in a lot of RPGs where you can attack on the field. But no, it looks like this is full-on Trails Through Daybreak style, meaning you have access to all of your moves out on the field. You can attack in action combat and then seamlessly jump right into turn-based combat. That is my favorite thing that a game has ever done, playing through Trails Through Daybreak. And I know Metaphor also has something very similar. Haven't played that yet. But that is my favorite thing that's been created in this genre in years and years and years. So I'm so glad that it's going to be in this game, be able to see this game play out this way at this level of fidelity. Like, looking at some of these images from this trailer, guys, like some of the stuff from, like Estelle and Joshua when they were younger, just like, we're getting it's the full thing. They're not like, I don't think they're cutting corners with it. I don't know. It's so freaking great. I'm surprised. I'm as surprised, at least initially, as anybody, that Gung Ho is handling this localization. Gung Ho, who has made, or produced rather, the Grandia HD collection and a few other games that I'd never heard of and don't think probably are really up my alley. So it was weird to me. Some sources that I know have suggested and pointed me to the idea that apparently the former president of Xseed and a lot of the old folks that used to work at Xseed are now part of Gung Ho. I don't know whether they founded Gung Ho or if they've just moved there for various reasons. So in a way, it kind of makes sense that they would want to do this, even though it seems pretty different from the sorts of stuff that Gung Ho as a company has done so far. It's kind of like their baby, right? Like, they spent so much time, if they were there at Xseed in the old days, working on the original Trails in the Sky FC. So to be able to, bring the 3D remake of first chapter into the world, to the broader world outside of Japan, I think probably feels like a homecoming for them. So I'm not, at least tentatively, I'm not upset about it. If all that is true, I think that actually is great. I think that's fantastic. We want people who care about these games, who care about this story, to be working on it, and it sounds like that's the case. So I'm heartened by that. So I'll be very curious to see more. We have confirmation of English voiceovers, which was one of my big hesitancies, my biggest fears. And I don't know if this is just a once bitten, twice shy kind of thing for me with releases, when I got so excited about Cry Machina because I loved the dub of Crystar so much, and I just assumed Cry Machina would have one, and it didn't, and it just like shocked me and kind of ruined the experience for me. If this is like this allays that fear, right? Like, I'm not worried now about Trails in the Sky. I hope that they're able to bring on as many, if not all, of the voice actors in the roles that we've gotten to know them in the other games. It's not the end of the world if they can. It's still great that they're doing it at all, that they're dubbing it into English. It's great. I'm not going to complain hard about that. If they can't get all the old cast together, people's schedules are up in the air. I don't know if they're still striking. There was a strike going on, and I don't remember ever reading that was resolved. So I have to imagine that could complicate things. Let me know in the comments if you know more about that or have information you can point me to. I'm not going to Google it right now because, like I said, it's 1:40 now. And as soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to try to go to sleep, but I'm probably not going to be able to because my brain is going to be like just revving. Okay, so anyway, Trails in the Sky, first chapter, or Trails in the Sky, first chapter. Is that what they're calling it? Yeah, first chapter. Trails in the Sky, first chapter. So they're going with the same naming convention as before, but instead of FC, it's 1C, whatever. It's good. It's cool. Whatever. First chapter. I actually kind of liked Trails in the Sky the first as a naming convention to kind of go along with the way they called, Trails in the Sky the third. I think I like that. I don't know. But first chapter, fine. Whatever. No big deal. The other piece of news that is flying around tonight is, I don't want to say it's bad news. It's Ys content. It's more Ys from Falcom. But it seems a little bit like they're going the route of Atlas, and in a way that's more aggressive and weird than even Atlas, I think, would dare to do. So Ys 10 Nordics just came out. I reviewed it on this channel a couple of months back. It's still brand new, right? We have gotten news now from this same info dump that a new version of Ys 10, an expanded version, is being released not in 2026 or 2027 or 2028, but in 2025, meaning today's technically the 19th because I haven't slept yet. It's like it's next month is 2025. So sometime within this year coming up here, we're going to get an expanded version of Ys 10 Nordics called Ys 10 Proud Nordics. Okay. What is... So there's new content in this, right? There's a new island, a big new island to explore that's got ruins. It sounds like there's additional story content on that island, more fun times with Adol and Karja. Presumably the other crew is involved as well. I love new story content. I really do. I love new story content, especially in Falcom games. I love Falcom so much. I don't understand this strategy. Did Ys 10 not sell well in Japan or over? Like, did it not perform well? What are they doing with this? A brand new release. Is it going to be a full priced game? Because presumably it will have the entire game baked into it. It's not just DLC. Having said that, it's not just DLC. Will it also be DLC? Will they release downloadable content for those of us who already have Ys 10 Nordics so that we can just download the DLC for $10, $15, $20 and have access to all this new content without having to rebuy a new version of a game that is less than a year old? I hope so. I hope so. That would be just bonkers banana pie pants if they were like, no, you $70, cough it up for this new island and this new, 36 lines of story dialogue and some new monsters to battle in the monster arena. What else does it have? It's got new bosses, new mana ride races. Okay, that's fine. A new big island. Yeah, okay. So new story content, that's substantial, right? That's not nothing. It's not like they're just doing new arena battles and new mana ride races. I think that would be a joke, right? If they wanted to sell a new version of the game with that. But this is, I don't know. I really hope that this is DLC that they're going to release to everybody who already has the game. And for those who don't have the game, sure, here's East 10 Proud Nordics that has all of it in one. And you can just buy that and you're fine. And I guess you get rewarded for waiting. I don't know if you're paying the same price that we paid for the original game, but you're getting all that new story content and we have to pay for the additional content. That feels kind of gross. Make it free DLC and you're going to have so many fans, Falcom. People are going to be thrilled about that. A whole bunch of new story content for an East game that you just drop in our laps and say, here you go. And, create a new version of the game if you want to rebox it and make a big deal out of it and sell that. Fine, cool. But, that's free. That's a free idea for you. Take it. Well, that's it. I can't go on and on because that's about all we know right now. But I just wanted to talk about this. I couldn't sleep because I happened to glance at my phone, a little bit of like in and out of slumber and insomnia, and I'm seeing all this exciting stuff and I'm like, I can't go back to sleep. I'm not going to sleep anyway. So let's talk about it. So let me know down in the comments if you are hyped by this, if you have any reservations about the choice to go with Gung Ho. I fully understand that, NIS America is probably loaded down significantly with all the stuff that they're working on, right? They already are in the middle of, releasing Trails Through Daybreak 2. Presumably, I don't want to jinx it, but presumably they're working on the next Trails game as well, which came out not too long ago in Japan. So I'm sure they're very taxed, right? They don't just produce Trails games and East games either, right? Like they've got a lot of other stuff they do. NIS makes their own games. So they have a lot going on. So it's not shocking or upsetting to me that maybe they don't have the capacity to handle it. But anyway, let me know what you think down in the comments. Let's talk about it. I'm gonna, take a sleeping pill and, try to get a few hours here. Until next time, bye.